Hey, Pinheads, do you ever wonder what would happen if horror villains faced off? Well, so do we. So what we've done is we've taken 22 of the most badass horror villains and put them at random on a bracket. We will have these villains face off one battle at a time until we reach the ultimate number one villain who would win it all. If you haven't done this yet, please subscribe. If you like what you're seeing, please like. Also, please comment. We always enjoy seeing what you have to say. Thank you very much. Do that shit. Hey, Pinheads, welcome back to Psychopinion. Nope, I gotta start over. He fucked me up.
I didn't realize you were pinheading it.
Hey, Pinheads, welcome back to Psychopinion. This is Jake with Steve and Liza, and we have brought back the brackets by popular demand. The brackets went over really well. Some people enjoyed that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch our March Madness Psychopinion version of brackets, which was who was the best horror director. So what we did there and what we're going to do here is I've got a bracket with 22 of the all-time greatest horror villains is what we're focused on this time. Horror villains, the greatest horror villains. Last time it was the greatest horror directors, and there's 22 of them, the greatest ones there are, and then they are put on bracket at random. So we're going to see some really interesting matchups here. And I'm going to show you all that as we go along. So tonight, our first match is actually going to be the great, the classic Jason Voorhees versus Samara Morgan. And if you're not as much of a horror fan as the rest of us are, Samara Morgan is the, or Samara, yeah, that's how I'm going to say it, Samara. Samara Morgan is the girl from The Ring. So this is an interesting matchup because we've got the girl from The Ring versus Jason Voorhees. So we're going to kind of talk about these all in a couple of different ways here. And what we're really focused on here is abilities as well as popularity. So some of these are some really interesting matches, and I'm sure we're going to see some upsets and some really interesting winners. If you're like me, you're probably wondering, how do these guys know who would actually win these battles? Well, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little bit of insight to that. I had a bunch of horror fans fill out surveys based on such attributes like likability, kills, style, creativity, danger level, uniqueness, how iconic they are, their backstory, appearance, and their movie or franchise likability. Besides these scores, I've also taken the scores from the IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, as well as other websites that rate movies, and taken all the scores from their films or franchises, along with the survey numbers, and did all the math stuff, which was a lot of math stuff. Then I came up with a score. That score is what these villains have going up against each other. But it's still fun to discuss and fantasize and think about who we feel would win in each of these battles. So please go ahead and comment your thoughts on that, and I would love to discuss or debate that some more. But to start this off, I'd kind of like to, you guys want, I can go ahead and kind of start a little bit here, unless you've got something on your mind there, Steve or Liza.
Well, I think Jason Voorhees is kind of like a sweet character.
You think he's a sweet character? Okay, well, let's build on that real quick.
I mean, not sweet, but I mean, he's just not scary to me. He just seems like somebody that just needs to be.
He just needs a hug.
Yeah, he just wants to he just wants to hang out with people, and they're running away from him. Samara's scary. I don't like that, and I don't.
I feel like people also run
She
away
just
from
needs
her.
Spark Plus with. She's not scary. She's got bad hair, is all.
I don't know if I saw between the two of them. If I saw both of them coming at me, I would not want to. I would be terrified of Samara.
Well, I was going to go in a different direction, but I have to follow Liza's rabbit hole here. If you want to go with that, I mean, realistically, both of these characters are kind of just characters that need a hug. I mean, if you think about it, like Samara from the very beginning was, I mean, yeah, of course, she was kind of a little evil to start, but I mean, you know, she realistically was like putting damn well and was, you know, I don't know. They could probably both do pretty good with a hug. Maybe that's how this battle would end, is just, you know, them hugging for a long time, like a lot of the MMA fights and boxing matches we see. the direction I was going to go in is I kind of wanted to talk a little bit at first about their attributes, sort of like what we're looking at in a battle with Samara Morgan versus Jason Voorhees. And Samara Morgan, of course, she has the ability to burn images into surfaces and minds, often causing mental and physical pain. She can also induce suicide, possess victims, manipulate curses, teleport, control water, which is called hydrokinesis, by the way, if you didn't know that. Even even though she feared water in life, she can control it, which is kind of interesting. But her other abilities include telekinesis, distorting reality, telepathy, mind control, and creating portals. So those are her abilities and kind of what she's able to do. So keeping that in mind, she is up against Jason Voorhees, which is completely, if I may say, opposite in a lot of ways, because he is all about the superhuman strength and durability, pain immunity, enhanced stealth, and impressive machete proficiency. He also demonstrates the ability to track victims, regenerate from injuries, and in some instances, display signs of teleportation and other supernatural powers. You don't see that as much, but it does explain how he walks super slow and ends up in front of you in the cabin. So, with all of that being said, we've got really a matchup here of just two completely different characters in the fact that one of them is basically all mind and the other one is like almost all body.
I feel like Samara could possibly take out Jason, because I feel like she would be like, I feel like in a mind match she would kind of like not out, possibly, I mean, not that he's not smart, but I think she could possibly like outsmart him, because like little people, they can be very dangerous, like small, like, because she's like a little small girl, and so to me, like, she would be a lot more dangerous than he would be, if that makes sense.
You got
technically, I mean,
people.
Does she like occupy space? Like, is she tangible? Because I don't know if I've ever seen anybody touch her or anything like that. Obviously, she manifests into, her form, but she's always in the well dead. So,
but
I don't know if you could necessarily stab her or kill her.
I want to say if you touch her anyway, you'd be dead. But
yeah,
Jason doesn't die.
Right.
So logically here, I'm kind of thinking that there's a possibility that Samara could possibly maybe control Jason.
Yeah, that's what I was trying. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
But I think we're almost looking at a little bit of a stalemate in the end, because she can control him to do what? I mean, he can't kill himself. He would regenerate. He doesn't die. But I mean, he's also like a brute, and if he can't get his hands on her and he can't actually like cause her any damage, I mean, he's kind of like screwed out of the gate.
I could see like her possibly like maybe like having control over him in a way of like he's like her protector almost.
Well, that would be interesting, I think.
Like he could like kill people for her.
That right there is like almost a good plot for a movie, quite frankly.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Steve,
I feel like he's a softie. I feel like he'd be a softie for her.
What is it with you? It's like you want to cuddle with Jason Voorhees all of a sudden. A little weird.
Yeah, with his big soft machete. I have always liked Voorhees' look. Like maybe he's soft underneath that hockey mask, but he looks like a hardened badass from the outside. And there's just something about him, obviously his imposing look. And like I said, that hockey mask is always something cool. I mean, shoot, back in the Ninja Turtle days, I was a huge Casey Jones fan. Same type of setup, hockey mask makes you look badass. So, and both you guys made good points too, for the standpoint that who the heck really knows? I mean, it probably would be a stalemate. You would think a little girl would be able to take on a big bulking, undead dude, but at the same time, if it was a stalemate, I will split the difference and go with Vorhees because of his his look first and foremost, but also I think he globally and over the years has a bigger following for his movies versus hers. So
True.
And in the end of everything, I mean, that's really what we're looking at here. Is we're kind of voting on who we think would win, but we're also voting on who we would win in the fact of popularity. I explained in the video that will be accompanying all of this that they are based on certain survey scores that I put out there. Looking over the survey scores of these characters, Jason Voorhees definitely did a lot better than Samara as far as the appearance goes, and as far as likability. But Samara really kind of took him as far as danger level, creativity, uniqueness, some of those more. Some of those types of qualities. And I think that that's probably based on the fact that when people filled out these surveys, they're probably, thinking that Jason's been around so long and it's kind of become redundant, maybe, is what I'm thinking. So, with that being said, and the scores being based on that as well as popularity of the franchise or movies that these characters are in, who is your final choice?
I'd say Samara.
I got Jason.
I am going to go with who I like more, and I'm going to go with Jason. So we have got 2 Jasons and a Samara.
So we got 2 Jasons and 1 loser. All right, let's move on to the next one.
If you guys are, well, we're not moving on to the next one until we know who won this one, Steve. So if you guys are ready, we'll go ahead and tally the votes.
Okay.
Gotcha. I thought 2 was more than 1, but I forgot we have more. So go for it.
You don't know what their overall score is yet. So we're gonna go ahead and see how a battle might look and tally some votes here. Please wait while we calculate the results.
Fight! Apocalypse! Killing frenzy! I demand a sacrifice. Finish him! Game over.
And the winner is Samara Morgan. Samara Morgan is the winner of round 1. Jason Voorhees versus Samara Morgan. Hey, Pinheads, if you're listening to this, you've been watching our 22 bracket horror villain face-off. I would encourage you to continue to watch, because we've got a lot more coming. We will find out who the ultimate horror villain is. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please like if you like what you're seeing. And please comment. We would love to know who you think would win in these battles. Also, make sure that you keep an eye out in the future, because we will be doing more of these brackets, and I would love to get your opinion. We will be putting surveys out there, and you can be a part of this. And your score can matter as well. Thank you for watching. See you soon.